self-educated myself. Everything save and invest in stock. At the end, no matter which book I read, the last 10 pages is talking about real estate.
What's up, guys? Today we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Dearonne Bethea. Welcome to the show, bro.
What's going on? Thank you, Daniel.
Dude, so you've done an incredible, you've had an incredible journey in the last, so many years, investing in real estate while working at W2. You currently have 83 sources of income. Is that correct?
Yes, 83 streams.
83 streams of income.
Yep.
So number one, what are these streams and how did you, that's crazy. How do you have 83 streams of income? Talk to me.
Man, honestly, it's mindset. It's 100% mindset. My goal when I joined the military, I wanted to just, join the military, get a retirement check, and, I knew I'd be better off than how probably like my parents and everybody else. So
wait, so are you currently in the military or did you exit?
Yeah, so I retired from the military. I did 20 years active duty.
Okay, wow.
Retired as a chief warrant officer. Got a second chance at life. I come from the poorest town in the state of North Carolina, Enfield, North Carolina. When you come from places like that, you have limited resources. So I got the opportunity to get outside and get a second chance.
Let's dive into that story. But so 83 streams, walk us through what those 80 streams look like. Is it like rentals, businesses? What is that?
Yeah. So I look at it. It's cost like 6-7 pillars of revenue that comes through. Pillar one is my anytime fitness. Okay. That's mostly
it's like a small business. That's like it's like a 24-hour fitness.
It's like a 24-hour fitness. Fitness franchise. Okay. That's revenue stream number one. Okay. And then
how many of those guys do you have?
Yeah, I have built over 10. I'm currently building 3 more.
Okay, wow.
Right now as well.
Okay. And so you own 10 Anytime Fitness franchises right now.
Right now,
plus 3 more that you guys are building.
Yeah. So right now we are currently in North Carolina.
Okay.
Out in Texas, Dallas, Arkansas. We own Kaka'ako, IL. And we currently getting ready to build another one in Honolulu. And we building one right now in Kauai.
Okay, wow, very cool. Okay.
So that's I call that's the fitness, that's the active. Okay. And we also have property management where we manage our luxury vacation rentals.
So you have your own property management company.
I have 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2. One managed vacation rentals. Okay. Most of those in Coralina. We're the second largest company out there that we self-manage. My wife, she does an amazing job. She her team, they focus on that. And then the third pillar is, apartments, multifamily. Okay. I have purchased over 1,200 doors. Wow. I'm currently up on a contract right now, purchasing a $30 million deal in DFW. Wow, so that'll put me close to 1,400 doors that I have purchased. But that business right there is more focused on syndication. Okay. There is also JV.
How many deals is that? So 1,200 doors is.
Yeah. So right now, I think I have about 9 properties over about almost 1,000 units that's actively being managed. Those doors range from 50 doors all the way up to 100 plus doors. Okay. And the way that we do that is, so we have the syndication that we. I done raised tens of millions of dollars from investors. A lot of investors are, obviously all family and friends. But with that being said, we also have another property management, Black Sands Property Management, where we vertical integrated and we manage our own multifamily portfolio. So you got a property management company that does short-term rentals here in Hawaii. Yes.
And then you've got another property management company that manages your multifamily buildings is it in Texas?
Yes, all in Texas. We when I first started, we was kind of like shotgun, right? I was in Maryland, Nashville, Tennessee. Johnson City, Tennessee, Selma, Virginia. We was kind of like all over the place. So, if you want to grow and you want to scale, you want to have the economies of scale, you want to be in one market, focus hard on that market. So we decided to go a mile deep in the DFW.
I 100% agree with that. I think there's a lot of different a piece of advice I've gotten over the years. Some was go into multiple markets to spread your risk or try different things. Other guys, you just pick one market and go deep in there. Right. And what I found is it's way more effective. You can use the same property managers, brokers, the same team. You know the streets and neighborhoods very well. Like if you go deep in one market, I feel like you can be a lot more effective than if you're in multiple markets.
Yeah, you be more effective, more cash flow, more just it's get things cheaper, more efficient. But that's been really good with Black Sand. So. So we do that.
So property management company.
Management company, and so there's 2 property management companies. Okay. And also we have Treasure Studios. I'm currently building 2.
What's Treasure Studios?
So Treasure Studios is a new franchise model.
So you started the franchise.
I started the franchise.
From scratch.
From scratch. You know what I mean? And in fact, crazy. Treasure with a Z. My daughter's name is Treasure, my firstborn. So I named it after her, but awesome. I put Treazure. Okay. And so Treasure Studios is another multifamily. It's not even multifamily. It's a real estate play. But think of it as a business, though, right? Those of you watching this that want to get into business, say, look, I want to create business because we know with multifamily, there's not a lot of cash flow. Yeah, right.
It's usually like a 5-year exit.
It's like a 5-year exit. You know what I'm saying? You make big payouts. You know what I'm saying? But during that whole period, you just grinding it. You got to pay your investors and all that. But what I have seen and what has worked for me is creating cash flow active business. And we take that cash flow and put it in real estate. So I created Treasure Studios because of the fact that I wanted to I want to do something different where we focus more on real estate, a little bit more passive. Okay. And Treasure Studio give us the opportunity because there's 0 employees.
So what's the business model for Treasure Studios?
Yeah. So the business model for Treasure Studios, we take 5 to 10,000 square foot retail space.
Office retail.
Office retail, commercial, and we carve it out and we make high-end luxury studios or suites, right? And what we do is we bring in estheticians, stylists, barbers, medical spa, Botox, and they can rent their own business out and have a high-end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're taking like a big, large retail space. You're chopping them to small parts, and then you're filling them in with like smaller businesses that can just take a smaller space and then
sublease, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like your own little shopping mall within a shopping mall kind of
100%, right? And we cover everything, right? The only thing they do is they pay us a weekly rent. And what we do is they pay us, go in for a 12 months or a 20 months lease. They paying anywhere from $300 to $400 per week. Okay. And so that give us the opportunity. But the biggest difference with our franchise model that I'm really proud of is I love to teach. I love to educate people. And it's giving me the opportunity to teach and educate stylists and these, I call them lifestyle professionals, get them the opportunity to not only build a business, but build a business right.
So you're teaching them the business to the tenants, how to do business better.
How to do business better, how to create a 401k, how to, pretty much set themselves up so they can create generational wealth because the reason I'm starting is called Treasure University. So we got a separate arm.
Education. So there's
an education arm
part too now. Okay.
Yeah. So we have our own education arm where they'll be able to watch videos and doing strategic partnerships with wealth managers, someone to help with their bookkeeping, EIN, where they can go to the right sources. And then also it's going to be like all in one. Everything is included. So if you come in and say, look, I want to cut hair, you rent out space out, we onboard you, right? Make sure you go out, help you build your space out. But we're going to onboard you to make sure you have your EIN, operating agreement. Everyone right now, when you go into business, pay me on Cash App. Pay me. That's going to catch up with you, right? It's on so long, the IRS is going to you know what, give me my money. So what we're going to do is we want you to run your business right, but not only run your business right, but also invest and pay yourself first.
This is like a genius idea. Number one, because you're maximizing the space that you're getting, and so it's kind of like a real estate and business play together in one, right?
Yes, 100%.
But then at the same time, is you're as a business owner, your money or your security is making sure your tenants are making money. 100%. But by educating them and teaching them how to do better business owners, you're making selfishly you're making your space a lot better. But at the same time, you're taking a lot of these young entrepreneurs who are kind of starting out, and you're making sure they succeed because they have the resources and the education they need as a small business owner. Which when you start off as a small business, nobody tells you how to do anything, right?
Nobody tell you, just out there flapping, man. Yeah, so we just want to give them the tools they need so they can make sure to be successful because business is tough.
Business
is hard. Like, I tell you right now, real estate way much easier to get into, the business, man. It's a lot of risks in there. So.
100%. I think that's what kind of is attractive about real estate investing, is because it's a lot easier than business. So 100%. If you look at the percentage of people who have success in real estate, a large amount of maybe 50% of people have success in business. I mean, in real estate. But in business, maybe 1 out of 10, just because it's a harder game.
Yeah. So business, the first 2 years, 30% of people out of business first 2 years. Once you get about 10 years, there's only about 28% people in business.
I feel like the number is actually smaller. I've heard this 70% are out in the first year, and then there's only 2% that's last 10 years, something like that. I don't know if that's true or not. So
yeah, man. So I did a whole little study on it, man. It's tough. It's for every 10 business, you're looking at 3 businesses
that actually make it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, but I love it though. It's a thrill. I think obviously the government, they give the SBA is good and bad, yeah.
So is that the education is the last pillar or your last stream of income?
So that's Treasure Studio. Okay. That's that. I also have a brokerage company.
Okay. So you have a real estate brokerage.
I have a real estate brokerage here in Hawaii. Okay. With actually my partner Duke, which Duke. Shout out to Duke. And we have that, and it helps us 2 ways. Number one, I get the opportunity to focus on. I get a lot of people coming through my pipeline and networking and stuff, but we got real estate agents on our team. A lot of those agents on our team, they out of the military. So we have we go up. We have the career skills program where transitioning soldiers out of the military here or anywhere can come be a part of our program. So we get that opportunity to help people. They can join any pillar they want. They come through our program.
Because you have a whole bunch of options for them. When they come through, you're like, hey, do you want to learn business? Do you want to learn multifamily? Do you want to learn being an agent, etc.?
Yeah, private management, HR. We got everything is in-house. HR team is in-house. Our marketing team is in-house. Our finance team is in-house. So,
how big is your company right now? How many employees do you guys have?
Total, we got over close to 150, man.
Wow,
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah. Crazy. And I mean, and you've been building all this while working a W-2,
We're
right?
working a W-2. I just retired, man. I just retired.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy because I was like, I went from working 18-hour days to, we're still working 12, 13-hour days, but it's because I want to, and I love what I'm doing. I got a 5-year plan that I'm working on right now.
What's I don't want to skip too far ahead, but what's the 5-year goal?
Yeah, so the 5-year goal is to get out everything active. So all my fitness, I probably exit that.
Okay, sell them out to
sell them out and just focus on the multifamily, but only more so JV. I do some syndication, but really just focus on JV. Okay. 5 or 6 people max on the deal. We fund it all internally. The second piece of that focus on the Treasure Studios. Okay. So instead of being a franchisee, grow to become a franchisor.
Yeah. So you franchise to other people so they can do that.
Yeah, and I just and I also have my own community called the DB community, 100 Rose Streets Income.
Is it an education community?
It's 100% education. It's a yearly membership. You get my time, you get my resources. We do weekly calls and we do retreats on Monday, at least tomorrow night. But on Monday we start. I got a Groupon coming out with me. They're gonna be able to travel with me and meet all. See, kind of like be a fly on the wall, right?
Yeah. So I find that's really been powerful for me personally. Just getting around guys who are successful like yourselves, and there's this thing like osmosis. By just being around, you absorb things that you don't even know. You don't know what you don't know. Right. So when we just watch you your day to day, if I can just follow you around, just see what you're doing, I'm like, oh, that's why he does this, or I didn't know he does that, and so just so helpful as a new investor or a new business owner to kind of see the real world business in real life.
Right. Yeah. So man. So we're doing that. We invest in international. So that's another piece that.
Okay. Wait. So you got the education piece. You got the community. Is that and the brokerage? Is that it? Is there anything else?
Yeah. I think that's it.
I mean that's a lot already. But it's crazy.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna leave him I forgot about that. But yeah. So we do got a marketing, Thrive Marketing. They manage all my marketing, but we got some clients that we do. But I don't really focus because. I'm a lot and the company's a lot. I'm like, man, y'all guys focus on just all our stuff right now, So, but the most of the revenue comes through real estate businesses. I think that's the really key that helped me really grow my net worth through the roof was to invest in cash flowing businesses and taking that money and investing in real estate.
I love that strategy. Even for us as a real estate investing company, we have the flipping side and we have like the long term. We're doing some office retail and some multifamily. And so like the multifamily and the office retail, they suck a lot of cash, but the play is like 5 years down the line, there's going to be like a big return. Yeah. Some of the office retail is like, so there's some cash flow there, but then the active flipping kind of funds all of that. And so it's like you need the active cash flow and the long-term real estate kind of paired together, helps with taxes, helps with like long-term wealth building, et cetera.
Yeah, man. It's I didn't even know what I was really doing it. I mean, I was just like, years ago, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I was just doing both. I was just doing both.
They pair so well together. That's why.
Yeah. And then what I'm saying, I was wondering like, man, I ain't paying no taxes. And then I got about 10 years ago, I got my accounting, my CPA, man. It's really, really great, man. Phenomenal, Charles. And man, like I have a monthly call with him, and it's all the talk strategic. Like, this is what we're doing. He said, D, man, you doing it right. It's like, you doing it right. I never paid, I paid my fair share, but I never paid the IRS.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and say, man, I paid them $100,000. They didn't gave me $100,000, but I never gave them no money like that. But but I make, a lot of money, so.
Did you always, was your family entrepreneurs? Were they business owners? How did you get started in just real estate and business in general?
I mean, honestly, my parents, my grew up with my father, my stepdad. He always was an entrepreneur. Okay. But he was a mechanic.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, he get up, he grind, I watch him grind every day. But, I think what really clicked for me was when I left home, joined the military, and I got my first mentor, Mike Sampson. Okay. And he showed me his retirement account, and he called me in his office. I went in his office.
So when you're living in North Carolina, then what made you decide to join the military?
Yeah. So I got in some trouble, just like most people where I'm from. Got in some trouble, got on probation. And it was just one of those things. Hey, man, you're either gonna go to the military, or you're gonna end up going to jail. So I, got in trouble, got on probation. My probation was 12 months long. July, I came off probation. Okay. 2002. Okay. August, I was out the door because I had signed up when I went to court a year ago that I would. So for the military. So I had to stay on probation for 12 months. Okay. So I was at what they call the delayed entry program. Okay. Where that you sign up and then you join it on a future date. So my what I negotiated was that I would join the military after I finished my probation, my community service, the whole 9 yards. And then I finished in July, went back to court, got cleared, and then I left and went to the military. And that's how my life changed dramatically. And that's the first time I got outside my comfort zone, which I actually left the hood, because I didn't know I was, what I'm saying? It's like where I'm from, we knew we didn't know what we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You live in those,
when you live in a bubble, right? So like you only know like the people and your peers around you, and so you think that's how the world works, right? Until you travel somewhere else, or you get somewhere outside. There's different ways people think differently, or there's different opportunities outside.
Yeah. So man, it was great. I got the chance to leave. I was scared. I was nervous, but it was the best thing ever happened, man. I'm without a doubt probably one of the, if not the most successful persons to probably left my hometown, man. So, and it's great because I get to give back. I always been giving back to my hometown, give back to my community that I live here. And I just love doing that. Yeah.
So you joined the military at 19?
19 years old. Okay. 19.
19. Yep. And then how did you get connected with, you said you found a mentor in the military?
Yeah, I actually got connected with my mentor. Okay. He's about to kick me out in the Army. Yeah, so, within 6 months, I'm there. This kid from Inchfield still got some of those tendencies, street tendencies, street principles is what we call it. I'm in the club, got to step on my shoes. I'm in Korea, everybody drinking, getting drunk and everything, and ended up fighting, and I end up being on his carpet that Monday. It happened on the weekend. Okay. So I go, my first sergeant, my commander, and they take me down, and man, you got to go see the sergeant major. And I'm like, oh man, and he just asked me, man. He said, why should I keep you in my Army? And I was like, man, this is where I'm from. This is why I just left. I was just on probation a year ago. Came in the military to change my life, and pretty much he said, what I'm gonna do to you? I said, yeah, you're gonna kick me out. He said, nah, the office you just walked past, it's going to become your office. You're going to work for me. You're going to become my driver. And that's how I started working for him. Wow. So he said he saw a lot in me that I reminded him of, I reminded him of him, right? Many years ago. Yeah. So he gave me an opportunity.
You're about to get kicked out of the military. Instead, you got almost like a promotion.
That's my story.
This is huge because like exactly what we're talking about, where proximity to where the deals are being done is like, it's going to give you a different insight than if you're out in the field, right? So if you're out in the field doing like the more, like, let's say like the grunt work or not being part of like where the action's happening,
right?
You're not going to get to see what's happening. Right. But the fact that he put you next to him in the office, now when like they're having the conversations or like the deals are happening, you're like crazy. Right next to where that thing is.
Yeah, man. Like this guy was the command sergeant major for Area 4. Okay. Which is Daegu, Busan, what they call it now. But that was we talking about 20 plus years ago, right? And I drove him everywhere. I heard every conversation, like you mentioned. I went to I never went to a 5-course. Did never hear of a 7-course meeting with prime ministers and all types of stuff. Going to hotels, 5-star hotels, staying in 5 hotels, but it was the conversation and stuff that I was listening. And one day he was having that conversation with someone that came in his office that needed money. And I heard the whole conversation. He soon that meeting was over with. The guy walked out of his office. He said, "Bethea, get in here. Did you hear the conversation just happened?" I'm like, yes. How about I ever catch you like that?
What was the conversation?
So the conversation was, this guy did 20 plus years. Okay. He had to get out the military because he hit this, they call it RCP, ration control point. That's when you hit a certain number of years in the military. The Army said, you know what, man, you've been stagnant, so you got to go. Okay. All right. So you can't go past 24 years and you can't get yourself promotion, right? Okay. So he had to go. He didn't have the money saved up. So he came to Sergeant Major asking for money. And he really felt comfortable doing it because when the Sergeant Major was young, this guy fell up under him, right? This guy was a young, private or whatever. Sergeant Major was at the time was like a squad leader team, whatever the case may be. So he knew the guy, all the long times. Yeah. So it was comfortable coming to ask, and Sergeant Major, helped him out, right? And he called me in, and that's how my life changed. And he logged on to First Command, right? And he logged onto his account. And he said, "Look, man, this is my IRA." It was like 100 and some thousand. And the first time I seen 100 some thousand look like $1 million, because you got 100 plus, you got 100 comma, and then you got the 22 cents. So I thought I saw another zero or something. But that right there, I knew I wanted that. So I said, "Hey man, I want that. Teach me that. How do I do that?" You fast forward 20 years later. Within that time, I picked up every book to read. I self-educated myself. Anything that talked about retirement, everything, saving, investing, stocks, it all tied into, at the end, no matter which book I read, it always, I don't care if it's the last 10 pages, it's talking about real estate. So that's how I end up getting into real estate, right? And then when you're reading these books, you self-educate, you find out there's different sources of income. It's like 7, right? Dividends, stocks, real estate. You got all these different sources of income. Yeah. And royalties, which I'm about to check that box, last one off. But you learn about these different sources of income. And then I just came infatuated how money make money. Came infatuated that I can go to sleep with $10,000 in my account and wake up, it's $10,080. You know what I mean?
It's like growing on its own without you actually putting in the work, right?
I came infatuated with that, and I still do. You know how much my account moved left to right a day? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
What are you pulling in monthly and just like income, passive or active?
I would say all in, man. It's over 6 figures. And it's crazy because my bookkeep. So I have three CPAs, and I have other CPAs. They have bookkeepers on there. Then I have a bookkeeper, right? Manage those 86 sources. Yeah. So I just brought her on. Okay. All right, and she's an asset manager of those 8. That's her only focus. So now you ask me that next time, I'll be able to tell you, because now she's putting all those streams of income on one P&L.
So you can just see at a glance.
See it at a glance in real time. Like, hey, this dividend, this go to this tie to this tie to this tie to that. Boom, boom, boom. Because it's harder when you have these different businesses, and they got to have their own bookkeeping. You can look at it and say, I made $300,000 in that company. I made $100,000 in that company. I'm up on this company. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can see it, but now I have to run me as a business. You know what I mean? I got, I do almost $20,000 just in retirement. Just me and my wife. I mean, I get 4 checks, all tax free. So that's
the military retirement you got.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's like 18 some thousand, 18 some probably thousand, 18, 19,000, and you got to be able to, that's 4 sources. Those you ask me my favorite. Those my favorite 4.
Why is that?
They never go away. No matter what. I don't think I need to wake up, be able to breathe, and have a pulse, and that money going to be there every time. No, I'm gonna say I'll pay on the first. And I don't even look at the accounts, but I have brought someone in to manage all those sources of income, all the bookkeeping, and we still growing, still building. I got 7 projects going right now. So I'm saying, hey, you got to build 7 more bookkeeping. I feel like, but yeah. So it's definitely over, because my goal was this here in the military. I said, I want to retire, left home. I said my goal was $4,000, $48,000 a year. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. I was saying, I go out, I'm gonna join the military.
When you first started,
I was like $4,000, And as I continued to go and got up, it changed to 10,000. Then I'm saying, I'm gonna retire. I'm doing backwards now. I said, you probably can do like 20,000, maybe $25,000. And I said, I want 100. By the time I got out the military, I was already making 100,000 a month. So
it's crazy. I mean, I almost feel like the military was holding you back.
It was 100%. It was holding me back. But I think too, when you first within your generation, and you trying to break those generation wealth and generation curses, that was a hole. That's the thing. I kept the military on because I didn't have nothing else to fall back on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was still stacking. Man, I was making good money. You know what I'm saying? On active duty, when I had some of the top performing fitness centers. I was making, I sold a gym in the military for like almost $2 million. I was like 34 years old, 35 years old.
Crazy.
And I still stayed in the military. Yeah. I still stayed humble, head down, did my work, hustle hard, but I was like, man, but I got it, but I need to secure something just in case when these deals go sour. I still got a family to take care of.
That's a really good point, because like in business, there's a lot of money to be made, but there's also a lot of money you could potentially lose, right? So like you never know what could happen. Like you could like somebody sue you or whatever the thing is, or like whatever, like a natural disaster or something where, let's say like God forbid all the businesses were like negative. Right. You have a guaranteed source of income for the rest of your life at 20 grand from Uncle Sam. So it's like the most stable like way to just ensure that you're never gonna have to like want for
my exit plan. I tell all my friends, I said, bro, I'm good. If I were to lose all, man, I'm out. I can go to Mexico. I can go to Portugal. I can go Greece. I can go to Thailand. And we can live like king and queens, me and my wife, right? But, obviously, I don't want that to happen. But,
as a safety net,
it's a safety net. It's now that I secured that. If I would have got out, I wouldn't be able to say that, right? I wouldn't be able to say that. And I'm thankful. But part of me taking the risk, being the first person to create this generational wealth in my bloodline, my kids ain't gonna have to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have a better opportunity where they don't have to hook onto that job because they tied to it, because they're gonna be okay.
They have options.
They have way more options. You know what I'm saying? Like, our trust to be able to lend. They ain't have to go to the bank and sign up personal guarantees and do all that. So they go get that from the trust. And the trust lend them the money at a lower rate, and we put insurance policies on them. If something happened, So
you're building generational wealth through all of these things, where like you're like a breaking the chain, right? So like you said, like when you're growing up, you're the richest. You come from like a more poor, tougher background. But then because you're the first in your family, now everybody past you is going to be, their lives are changed because of the decisions and the life that you're living.
That's absolutely. And I think that's what's, building generational wealth for me. Like giving opportunity, not money, Like I'm not sitting here going to leave my kids with, all of this stuff. This stuff will be in a trust for many generations to come.
So make sure they don't just blow it.
Oh yeah, man. That'd be
buy some jets or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know, you got kids and you think about, okay, you know, when you had these kids, man, you look at all these kids, you look, I got 4 girls and a boy.
Well, awesome.
And as they go out the door, I'm more keyed in who and what they do as a person, how they living right now, knowing that they're going to grow. But if they got bad habits early, bro, it is hard and they stuck in their ways. But, you know, it's my goal to kind of, you know, continue to, you know, grind, you know, push them. You know, now I will tell you the good thing that they all want to be business owners and all want to be all bossy.
Well, the thing is, like, they're around it, so like you're a huge influence, whether you realize it or not. And it's not what you say; it's what you do. Right. So they see dad successful, they see dad owning businesses. So like, how can they not want to follow in your footsteps? You know.
Yeah. And you know, honestly, you know, I think that it's like, and I got like my mentor, Steve. You know, he said, you know, I never forget. He was like, D, I need you to talk to my son so you can tell him the story. Tell him what I did for you. You know, say talk to my kid. You know what I mean? I was like, hold on for a minute. I would think you got multiple $billion in assets. Like that's a no brainer. But honestly, man, kids they're gonna choose their own path. You know, and you may have 2 or 3 or out of 5 or whatever that's gonna take the path that you may want or you may not. I stopped pushing, you know what I'm saying, kind of letting them go out and do. And kind of like once they figure out what they want to do and go out there and make some, you know, go mess somebody else's company up there if that's what you want to do, and then come back and then we can make sure you're good. But, you know, right now through my DB community, my oldest daughter, she's in last year, right? And she's want to be an esthetician and she want to her own business, her own makeup line, and all that stuff. So guess what? Every Saturday she part of the DB community. She's on those calls.
She's got to learn too. She got to learn.
She got to do all this. Yeah, she got to put in work because I ain't giving nothing out.
I love it.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It's if they get it too easily, they're not going to appreciate it and they're not going to be good stewards of it. But if 100%. They earn it themselves, it's a way different feeling. So if you build the business from scratch yourself, you have a bigger understanding, a bigger appreciation, you have a bigger responsibility than if you're just handling something, right?
Yeah, so, man. I'd rather leave it, man, to the homeless and less fortunate and, you know what I'm saying, stuff but it's not set up like that, but it is set up to leave a chunk to it where that money will, you know, make 5 or 6% and pay out, you know, they'll be able to continue to do good in the communities that they are at. But majority of that wealth has been inside an irrevocable trust where that, you know, own nothing, control everything. Even when I'm gone, own nothing, control everything. That's how you want to say, especially with business.
I totally understand that. So you mentioned that you had like some mentors along the way. Is it because, I mean, in order to do what you've done, I feel like there's a lot of like, there's so much knowledge and things that need to happen. After your first mentor in the military, how did you have like other mentors, or how did you get connected? With
so you definitely, you know, obviously definitely outgrow that mentor, right?
Because he had, I mean, like the crazy thing is when you first saw the 100,000, you're like, this is like crazy amount of money because you've never seen anything like that before. Right. I was the exact same way. When I was in my W-2, my whole goal in life was just to make 6 figures, you know. And so, but then eventually, like you outgrew that guy. How did you find your next mentor?
Yeah. So my next mentor was actually found here in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I was at Fort Hood, Texas. You know, you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Okay.
Ever, right? I
agree with that.
And me and my wife, we got down and we prayed. Said, what do you want to, are we going to take this different path, this different approach? Because me, I was still like so good in the military that I was going to go follow my boss that I worked with. He went to South Carolina. I could have went with him and I was like, man, I ain't going to Hawaii. Let's go get this. Let's chase this rank, right?
Inside the military,
rank
right?
type, right? Yeah. My wife was like, nah, you promised that I would choose the next place. I said, cool. And she said, you know, I want to go. I want to go to Hawaii. So I went back to my boss and said, hey, sir, you know, this is what Pemo want to do. And he supported me 100%. He made one phone call. I was in Hawaii.
Wow.
We was in the hotel with all our kids, 2 beds in the hotel. And we said, what do you want to pray? I said, look, I want to pray for mentorship. I want to find more people that's smarter than me. And my oldest daughter, at the time, she was probably like only 12, 13 years old. She was working all my kids work for me at a young age. Okay. And I said, go out and find somewhere to take your mother for Mother's Day. She came back. We ended up going to Coralina, and you know, we went out, and that's how I got out here. But when I got out here, this guy, he said, listen, what do you do? I told I was in the fitness stuff and all that. So I ended up getting a corporate, Anytime Fitness corporate gave me a call and say, listen, we have this opportunity. It's in the IL. This other group, they walked away from the deal. So I immediately started researching the company that owns the building, all that. So I meet the broker. The broker meet me, Greg Woods. And Greg said, I said, Greg, can I meet your father? He said, D. He said, my father, he's the guy that, the operations, but you want to meet Steve Matter. That's who you want to meet. He's the guy. He's the brains. And I said, would you set up a call or a meeting?
So you just want to you're just kind of building a relationship just to get in the same room as these guys who are successful.
And I got in a room with him. When I got in a room with him, it's supposed to be a 20, 30-minute conversation.
Tell me why it was important to get in a room with someone like that.
Bro, you think that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
If I tell you some of this stuff that this man has put me in the game on, man, it'll blow your mind. Like a lot of people in Hawaii, most people come to me that's in high level real estate, whatever, it's like, and they see me and they see how I'm moving or see me on whatever, like, yo, D, man, you been here how long? At the time, I'm like, yo, I've been here 3 years. And this person, and that person. I'm like, yeah, man, I went, that's my mentor. This is the president of CPB. I had dinner with him. This guy over here, and all those relationships that he opened up for me here in Hawaii, right, as a minority, that was all through him.
So one guy, basically one mentor, one guy you met, he basically opened the doors of business for you, like in
business,
Hawaii.
Everything that I needed, man, anything that I needed. Wow. And then not only that, when someone that owns that type of business, right, because MW Group, they own tons of stuff, all senior living, Hawaii self-storage, all that. But Steve, man, and what they do is just, man, most genuine person I ever met. Because not only that I get to use him or go pick his brain anytime I need to, I can pick whoever on his team brain, his attorneys, his, you know what I'm saying, like anything that I need, the door is open.
So why did he, because I feel like he would get like a lot of guys all the time say, hey, can I take you out?
He spoke at the conference. Someone asked him that at the conference, this past conference in July. And he said, D, he said, the difference between D, when he came to my office, he came with a notepad. And when he came back, every time he come back with his notebook with things checked off, everything that I tell him to do, he implemented in his business. Everything, every move that I tell him to do, he does it. He always, and he's got a big heart. He know I give back here to the community. He know that I'm all about my family. I take my family out, travel, and that's phenomenal. And it was only supposed to be a 20-minute conversation. I left out there with a friendship for over 10 years now, where at Christmas, this past Christmas, our family got together on New Year's, had family dinner at the Ritz-Carlton downtown. And, we do things. I get invited to his house, private dinners, private meetings. And when you're talking, now you're doing those type of dinners. Now those dinners more exclusive. It's super exclusive. You're talking about side major conversations. I can't, the conversations, because it's different, right? It's business and, how do we help, affordable houses here on Oahu. So, we talk and work on all types of projects, and how do I help, working with, either the mayor team and just keeping military, how do, helping more military be here. That's why we got the career skills program. Why there's not more minority businesses here, So those some of the things that, I try to help and bridge the gap. But a 15 conversation turned to like a 6-hour meeting.
Wow.
6 hours.
That was the first meeting.
First meeting.
Wow.
15, 20-minute meeting. I literally, he looked at, when I had like 15 minutes and I talked the whole 15 minutes. He looked at Greg. He looked at me. He said, he's the real deal. You want to do lunch? I was like, yeah, I'm in military uniform. Like, got to get back to work. Oh yeah, I'll do lunch. Yeah, absolutely. And I never forget, man, we left out of his office, went to the elevators, pressed one button. We go all the way up top. And I'm thinking we about to go. I said, man, he said, we got a restaurant up here. I said, huh? I said, y'all own a restaurant up here too? He's like, yeah. And then Greg's like, we own the whole tower, you know. So Pioneer Plaza, you know, that's their and it was good. I think it was called like the Plaza Club back in the day. Okay. It was a paid membership type deal. But yeah, just to be able to get into those rooms, man, it's very important. I tell people that they was like, what's the most advice you give people? Every time, no matter what, I'm gonna tell you the most important thing is to get a mentor. Get a mentor, number one. Yeah, by far. It's not the school.
It's crazy because like we paid for mentorship from this guy Ryan Pineda just kind of maybe about a year and a half ago, and it was a pretty penny. It was like $100,000 for like 1 year mentorship, and all it is just like a hour a month, just like having like a conversation like with him, and like what I found out was just being in a room and then just getting invited to like some of these dinners with some of these other investors, other business owners. It's been huge for me. Number one, to have more opportunities that I would not have access to, but then it's changed your mindset of this understanding how business and the world works.
Right.
Like, you know, like you don't like you can read it in a book, you can watch a YouTube about it, you can even take a course, but there's nothing like actually seeing it happen in front of you, and then just understanding and absorbing it like right there in front of you. You know, so like when they're talking about like, here's how we're doing, they're structuring this deal, this is how we're doing this is how we're pivoting our business this way. You're right there and you can see, and then obviously you have your own businesses that you're kind of like asking, hey, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you're giving some feedback from like your limited views, but it's been so powerful for us to just be in those rooms and just see how business is conducted.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I'm blessed, you know, and being able to get the opportunities to be in some of those rooms has definitely got my mind like that. And now, you know, I kind of went from, you know, just I used to be like on the side, you know, just listening, and now I'm like at a point in my career. Well, I say matter now. First, it didn't matter. Like they be like, D, so what you think? And I'm like, oh shoot. So I get a lot of those now. Like D, what you think? D, what you think? Oh, D, he's smart. He's investing in Dallas. You know what I mean? With a cap rate 6%. Not like he ain't like us with a cap rate 3.5, 4. I'm like, I say, you know, I was like, yes, sir. You know, you gotta, you know, diversify and you know, however though, I think, you know, so it's cool, man. To, you know, to be in just different types of rooms. And then you kind of grow. Like when I leave here, I'm going to meet up with. I got on lunch with Mike Ronel. He owned all the Dominoes here on Oahu and in Utah. He got like 20, just brought like 25 or 30 pack out there. But you know, even guys like him, you know what I mean? Like he's I've heard of the community. I've heard of him before too, actually. I mean, there's a lot of guys who, and so it sounds like as you're growing as a business owner, as an investor, you're like, how are you like, so like, let's say for instance, like Mike Ronel, how did you get connected with him? How did you like coordinate like a lunch? Like how did that even come about? So those guys now are my peers.
Okay.
Where they, you know, first I thought they was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, hold up for a bit, D. Like, I'm learning for you, like, you know. So it's like, you know, but you know, me and him is more like, I guess, more like peers. He on like 20 some, but I got like you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of businesses too. And no, but Mike, man, I met him years ago at Hawakale Golf.
Okay.
I went there. I think he was there, and I went to a Christmas. It was a Christmas dinner through Tim Wilson. Had that I met Mike there, and kind of sat down, talked to him. Man, I was like, man, this guy cool. And I invited him out to some things. He came out, and then you know he spoke at one of the conference, my first conference he spoke at, and you know we just always stay. He's an investor, you know what I'm saying, in my multifamily. We do about to get ready to do some JV stuff and stuff like that. But no, man, Mike is a great guy, and then he opened up the door for me for Governor Josh Green, who was by then I think he was lieutenant governor at the time, and I went out there and Mike Ronel invited me out to one of his gatherings. So that was years ago, right? So that's how I kind of got into what can I do for the community even more, because this is what I'm doing. But you know when I'm doing, I want to do more, and I realize now I'm doing so more. But no, a lot of people don't know what I'm doing, right? And also I don't get the help and support. So now it's working better, because now I can make a call 6 months, 7 months, and say, hey, sir, I'm doing this, and can you come and show? You know, can the mayor come to this event? Can the governor come to this event?
Wow.
So, you know, that's
it's kind of crazy. Like in your short term or short period in Hawaii, you've networked like crazy, and you've gotten into these rooms where guys can only dream of, you know. And so I just trying to understand how you've done it in such a short period of time. And I mean, obviously, even like coming with, to hang with us, like you add a tremendous amount of value to us. You're gonna speak at one of our events.
Yeah.
And like when you're like adding that much value to us, we're like, what can we do for you? We just can't help but want to help you in whatever way that we can, you know?
Yeah, man. You know, like my goal is this, this year, 2024. I retired out of the military 2023. Was that right? Yeah, 2023, I retired April. So I said, all right, military, I'm wiping it off, you know. Okay. And like I walked out I like literally left out the military. I didn't have no ceremony. I didn't have no nothing. It was like I woke up the next day, like I'm already performing as a civilian, right? So it kept on going. But I said, what to do at the time? And I said, you know what? I want to get in front of more people, let them know our story, see how I can because if you can help and impact more people, you're gonna get blessed.
Yeah.
And if you really like helping people in your heart, that's your thing. Yeah. Everything else is gonna take care of itself. I promise. So I said that I want to do more for my foundation. So you have a foundation. What is your foundation? Yeah, it's called the Dearonne and Pemo Bethea Foundation. And what we do is from in North Carolina, we give. Remember, I support from K grade to 12th grade. All right. And let me tell you what, when I say give back, bro, and everything would take care of. When I first started this, I only could afford to give, pre-K and kindergarten book bags.
Okay.
The next year, we was able to do the whole elementary.
Okay, wow.
And following that, I went from elementary to 8th grade. Wow. Elementary from there to all the way to high school. And I did that for years. Right? And I was on a call like I think it was like 2 years ago. And he said, man, we need to do something different. And I asked a counselor, I said, he said, man, they never had a senior trip. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because when I went there, I didn't remember no senior trip. I said, we're going to give them a senior trip. So I put them on the bus. I took them all out to the Charlotte's basketball, the Hornets.
Wow, that's crazy.
Put them out there, and they stopped and went tour the college on their way back.
Wow.
Put them in the hotel room, pay for the tickets, pay for all those things. Put them on and that's what I like to do. And then here in Hawaii got one of the largest homeless populations, and I'm not used to that where I'm from.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have like homeless people sleeping on the street where I'm from. Right? I'm from a small town, so that's like that was like mind dropping for me to see that. I'm like, man, what can I do here? So since I've been here, we started out 400 meals, 800 meals, 1,000, 2,000.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. We want to know. We focus on those two, kind of give back. So do that, and then our conference.
That's crazy. I mean, just listening to your journey, like you came from basically almost nothing, and then like you had so much success along the way. You obviously have a big heart, but the more money and the more success and like that you grow and have, the more it seems that you're giving back to the community and to like the other people who have more needs than you do.
Absolutely, and more needs my kids. My kids, my wife don't let them. They know they gotta go straight to the clearance rack at Ross. I'm like, baby, they already hit a discount store. Yeah. You know what I mean? So keeping everybody humble, grounded. Being humble. Never forget where you come from. Never change. You know what I'm saying? Be true to yourself. Build your team. Don't forget who started with you, who helped you, and protect too. You got to protect the people.
What do you mean by protect? What do you mean by that?
Because you're gonna continue to grow. You're gonna continue to be successful. You're gonna continue to build a great core team. You're gonna bring people in, but you're gonna have to protect them because there's gonna be a lot of people depending on you. There's a lot of people depending on me. There's a lot of families depending on me. But there's also going to be people that depend on you to try to get, want you to fail, and want you to get you wrong. So when you bring people into your circle, when you bring people in your group, you guys want to make sure that you are protecting everybody. And it's hard. That's what's going to be hard. And one of the things that we're doing in our DB community, I'm like, this community is not for everyone. I don't care. It's not. I want to bring good energy, and that's what I'm scared of it growing too much.
Yeah, because you don't want to. You actually have a filter. It's not just if you have a post and a paycheck. You're like, I want to make sure the individuals here are high quality, so that the general effect is like the vibe of the community is right.
Yeah. And I started off in business and real estate at the lowest level.
Okay.
Crack houses. $13,000 house.
The first deals were like
$13,000. Okay. You know what I mean? And then it grew up $40,000. That was right around the block from that one.
Okay.
E class. We're F class. Whatever the worstest thing that you would not try around, I promise you won't. But what happened in that is you grow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You start F, it's great cash flows, headaches, you're going to tear your crap up, whatever. But you grow. All right, you're going to go, then you're going to get in this class called C class. All right, okay, that was a little different, a little better than where I came from. Okay. And then you're gonna get in this B class. Mm-hmm. When I'm talking about classes, you think about real estate. I'm talking about both.
What do you mean by?
I'm talking about businesses and real estate.
Wow. Okay.
Because they don't talk about, they don't give a class. I'm gonna say, hey, business. This is an A class business in an A class area. They don't talk about it. They just say demographics. It's $130,000 population. This is the mix. Boom. Mm-hmm. But for me, because I'm so knowledge, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I went from D, C, all right, I'm at B and A. So what do I want now? When you look at D, if you look at my portfolio, everything is turning A class. Everything.
It's an evolution. I feel like this is the exact same thing that happens to all investors, myself included, where when you first start, you only can afford like the C class or the D class, because like those are like the $30,000 to $40,000 houses. When you first start, you don't have any money, you don't have any experience, and so like you have to start there. But then as you are cutting your teeth there, you're learning all the lessons, you're making your mistakes there, you're slowly like growing. Over time, you're able to kind of like basically level up into the 100%. Different classes.
Yeah, man.
And so at this point in your career, what are you looking for as far as deals, or what's like your maybe like your minimum amount of purchase or profits you're looking to?
So I don't buy. So right now I'm really like, okay, single family. I don't buy no single family investments unless it's vacation rentals.
It's just because you leveled up past single family.
Yeah, $1 million. Okay, $1 million. Like don't everybody don't put it got to be $1 million.
You mean $1 million profit before you'll touch it?
No. For vacation rentals. Okay. Right. Right now we focus on. I'm buying one. I think I'm buying one, maybe two more houses. Because I said I wasn't going to buy no more, but I got another. Okay. So I'm buying one more property here in Hawaii, but I got stuff in Dubai. Okay. And I'm looking for international things that me and my wife can use. But, here in Hawaii, $1 million, Dubai, we somewhere between $800 and $1 million as far as a property, right? For multifamily, we like $20 million, 100 plus doors, A class for that. Businesses, I just want to buy high-end businesses. So I want to be like, I don't have a $10 membership gym. I have my gym membership is $5. That's my niche, right? Mm-hmm. So with the Treasure Studios, I don't have a $250. I want to have a $400, $500 weekly rent, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just, just changing out the class of
I see.
And just really just focus on A class everything. So yeah, that's kind of like my, Treasure Studios I'm building 2 locations right now. They're gonna run 1.2 to 1.5 million per location.
In Hawaii, or where you?
Right now, I'm building in Dallas. Okay, I'm both of them in Dallas. I mean, I'm heavily looking for a location here in Hawaii. I gotta put one here in Hawaii. Okay. Because it's home for me. So I definitely want to have one here. I think I got a deal down at the Alamo, but I don't know, man. You know how deals can kind of go, and it's crazy. And then you get into percentage rents and all that stuff. But I'm working on a deal here. Mm-hmm. But so those cost me around that. Everything is up. I plan to invest about $250 million over the next 5 years
in just businesses
and real estate.
Wow.
Yeah, $250 million. That's my goal.
Is that? I mean, and are you raising that money? Is it like money you're generating?
So all my businesses is all self-funded, no raise. We make enough. I look at us as a family office, so we can fund our own deals. Mm-hmm. We can do all that. On the multifamily, I do syndicate, and we do raise. I'm raising $11 million right now, and that's for a $30 million deal. Okay. But I would syndicate maybe 2 deals a year, but I want a JV 1 deal a year.
So what's the difference between a JV and a syndication?
Yeah. So a syndication is like a pool of investors. You pretty much put everybody together, and normally there's an LP and a GP for general partner, LP for limited partner. The general partner, that's where I hang my hat at. Normally it's typical 3 to 5 people on the GP. You got your management person, you got your CFO, you got maybe your acquisition team, and some maybe capital raisers. On the LP, you just there, like more like a silent partner, but you get all the benefits of owning the property for the depreciation, for cost segregation. You get the dividend checks, and you get the exit, the upside on the exit, where normally a general syndication split is 70-30 split, where 70% for every dollar made, 70% go to the LP investors, 30% come over here. The way that I do it is, my goal is to eliminate as many LPs every deal, right? So normally if I write a check for like $500,000, right, like my deal right now, I'm putting $500,000, my own money. So that's, if you do 500,000 divided by $50,000, I'm eliminating people out of my deal, right? Because I know even I'm an LP and GP on my own deal. So if I make $1 million over here off 500, then I make another 1.5 to $2 million here. That's how I try to say every deal I do, I need to at least make. I try to do $1 million a year
per deal. I
try to do $1 million. So if I hold for 5 years, I need to make $5 million.
Wow. Okay.
That's how I do it. Like, what's my time worth? And that's kind of like how we say, all right, in order for to do that, the only way you can do that, you got to do bigger deals, and you have to, So that's what I do now. It's like, okay, for every year I want to make $1 million. But you would ask me this, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I said, yeah, I want to make $250 a year. Like, that's like the number there.
You're constantly leveling up, right? So,
So there's $1 million, and eventually maybe, maybe $5 million. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to go. But right now, the deals need to make me $1 million a year on the whole time. Yeah.
That's an amazing goal. Just number one, it's if I hear like new investors ask, say, I'm going to make $1 million whatever year, but then they don't have any track record to kind of like prove it, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, that's never going to happen, honestly. Right. But I look at you, like you have like this long track record of constantly like leveling up and success, where now you're saying $1 million a year minimum is like, I guarantee you're going to do it.
I got in multifamily. I was 28 years old, and I've been invested in multifamily, started as an LP.
Okay.
I knew I wanted to be a GP, so I've been doing GP, and it's been really, really good for me. But it goes back to the JV, right? Joint venture. Now you do a JV joint venture, that's typical no more than 8 partners. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And normally in JV, saying that all partners are doing some type of actively engage on the partnership, right? You don't got
there's no LP, it's just all
GPs, and typically you may say, all right, you may say that the equity check is, $8 million plus 8. Everybody bring $1 million to the table. Okay. And you kind of split that way. Maybe that be a small piece for the person who's managing, right? For me, it'd be me and one other guy. But we take and say 10% of that, and 90% is being split, right? And we get a percentage of that. So everybody may be having 15%, 20%, but it's all cash coming out. And then you could build these things. Like, you go in, you buy a piece of land for $4 million, right? You buy the land for $4 million, right? And then you can use that land as a collateral, go get a LTC, right? So that you can have that loan, build a deal out.
Okay.
$4 million probably get you somewhere, maybe like you probably build like maybe like $15 million or maybe 12, $13 million property, right?
So you put in 4 for the purchase, another 4 for the build.
Yeah. So let's say you're at $8 million all in, right? Okay. If you're at $8 million all in, you're gonna probably build something like $25 million.
Wow. Okay.
But when you fill that property up, and then after the build, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna be able to, it's probably gonna be worth maybe close to $32 million. You create $7 million in equity. So now you can pull all the capital, like all that money back out, right? You're gonna pay everybody on the team their $1 million back. All right, put a little bit money in your pocket. And then you got a cash flow coming out. And then you say, hey guys, let's go do it again. Let's repeat. Let's do another deal for $8 million. Do the same thing. I'm gonna give your money back. All right. And you're gonna own it. You're gonna get cash flow. And the good thing about this though, this is what I'm already learning, because I haven't did it. The new developer, I already know I'm gonna kill it, because I'm out here in the game. I'm syndicating. And I'm sending these developers. I'm buying deals from developers. They give them as wholesale prices, right? Because you know why? Because developers don't manage. You know who the best managers are? Syndicators.
I see. So you're like the best of both worlds at this point,
bro. Like I'm gonna once I build it, I'm gonna manage it better. I'm gonna get way more higher rent. Normally, if rent $1,600, they probably got their rent $1,450, so they can hurry up and fill it up, giving mad concessions, so they can build it, sell it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So you're like vertically integrating the whole piece of the puzzle.
That's the piece I'm missing, the development piece.
Wow.
So we get into the development, we syndicate these deals. You know, I had a deal in Austin that was going to cost $25 million. We was going to do half Airbnb because it's in the number one spot in Dripping Springs.
Okay.
One of my guys, he owns the second largest property management company. Vacation Rentals. Jim Beasley, prior here and prior met him at the conference. He got over $1 billion in just vacation rentals, right? And he managed the largest territory in this area called Dripping Springs. So we was building this property with him. Man, we underwrote this at $25 million. We was going to exit at $80 million because of the cash flow. Because just like the NOI determines the value. Not the appraise, it's the NOI. Mm-hmm. How much cash flow this thing is kicking out. And that's what determines the value in multifamily. And that's why I like multifamily. Unlike, business is the same way, man, but, you can have a good business competition moving across the street. You go making $300,000, it's $100,000, and your business only worth $400,000 and used to be worth $1.4 million. So, that's the difference, man. But I think real estate is the best way to create wealth, though.
Crazy. I mean, like, you're doing so much. So on a day-to-day, what does a day with Dearonne actually look like?
So I wake up every morning around 4:30. I check emails right in the bed.
So what time are you going to sleep at night?
I got this right here. Part of my community is, we call it the 100 Roads to Health, where I'm really focused on wellness and fitness inside my community. So we got a whole arm that fits this. So I've been wearing this watch, man, and realized that I normally was getting almost 4 hours of sleep a night, right? Which I always knew. So I really been, it's train you, teach you, give you articles and all that. So just I would say the past 45 days, and I've been wearing this watch probably about 3 months. It's not a watch, it's a analytical data band. But I'm right now, I've been going to bed at 9 o'clock consistently.
9 o'clock at night.
And been getting about 6 hours to 6 hours and 30 minutes, which is phenomenal. I got an alert and say, man, you crushing it. Your sleep consistency is 86%. Keep on crushing it, Dearonne. I'm like, yeah, man. You know what I mean? But typically I go to bed now at 9. Sometimes I get into bed at 9, but I don't close my eyes till 10. And I'm waking up still 4 o'clock. No matter what time and that's the problem for me, because if I go to bed at 1 o'clock, I'm still going to wake up 4. If I go to bed at 2, I'm going to wake up 4. If I go to bed at 8, I'm going to wake up at 1. So I need to be in the bed by 10, and I've been working on my sleep. So I get up 4 o'clock, by 4:30, I'm checking emails, whatever. 5 o'clock, I'm walking to the gym. Get to the gym for an hour. I do my thing, put my music on, motivate myself, maybe listen to.
When you're in the gym, where you're listening to like motivation music,
man, motivation, man. I'm my biggest competition.
Podcasts, like music.
Yeah, I rotate. I may go in there and I say, all right, I'm gonna listen to a podcast, or I'm gonna listen to this book, or or his music. Sometimes I may just like, man, I just want to hear music because I'm gonna lift the car. I just want to just go hard. Because in my head, I'm looking at my whoop. I need to get my strain on. I need to be in a certain zone. The book ain't gonna get me there, because in the book I'm gonna be like trying to think it. Oh man, so I need to go do that. I'm like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, you know what I mean? But when I had that music on, I'm like, I'm crushing it. You know what I'm saying? I want to get my body in the top, not because when I get home, I'm in my office all day. Right. So I need to get as much as I can out.
That's a really key hack, I think, I'm listening to. I think I'm start applying this to my life. Is sometimes in the morning, like I don't work out in the morning. I usually work out at night. And so in the morning, like a lot of times I get out of bed, I'm like, start with emails, and I just like, I don't have any motivation, but I'll put on like a 5-minute, like the YouTube motivation clip to kind of get myself rolling. But I think it's really good how you start the day with the working out and motivation, like intentional motivation. So then when you hit the office, you hit the ground running.
Man, I hit the ground running. Nobody can. If I'm fasting and working out every day, there's no one gonna be able to outwork me. It's crazy. I go fast for 30 days and working out is insane. It's 20-hour days. I do crazy stuff. I mean, magic happens. Magic, like, it's insane. Like, my whole team, like, they hate when I fast. They hate it. They're like, he's fasting. Oh man, he's gonna be firing off emails, text messages, Slack chirking. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't missing nothing. I'm in my A game, and it's, and eventually my whole life is shifting more as that. Now I naturally fast. I don't eat until 12, and you know what I'm saying, I work out every day, and I go out, and I got it, and because I know my body is running at its best level when I work out in the morning.
I love it. I love it.
It's running its best level. But yeah, I do that, and I'm done by 6:30. I don't play, man. I get in at like 5:15. I'm back home by 6:30, and my meets normally start around 7:00. So I take a quick shower, and then I'm up, having meetings, checking emails on a meeting, just boom, 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 knocking stuff out, seeing what fires I need to put out, what deals we got coming along. Just it's like clockwork. My calendar crazy, man. Yeah, I tell you, I got 2 people manage my calendars, and Precious, she does a phenomenal job, man. So yeah.
Great. So you after you work out, you go back home to like a home office, and then just like, is it like computer for the rest of the day? What is
that man.
Like?
So I work. I got 3 computer screens, and right now, honestly, I got 7 projects just going. And they all started in September. So it's mostly me all day in front of the computer. It's about, maybe like 6, 7 o'clock, from 7 to 7. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But it's also me knowing that I'm leaving at the end of November to go to Dubai. So, I'm trying to crush everything.
Yeah, before you get out.
Before I get out, So not saying I'm going there and be on vacation, not working, but I'm trying to be ahead of a head all the way, So yeah.
I love it. Well, dude, so it's a crazy, crazy story. If you could leave maybe one piece of advice for like the audience to take away, what's like one lesson or one piece of advice you'd live?
The most important part, like I said, is go out and get a mentor. Okay. Right now. If you don't have a mentor, go find one. If you don't know how to find one, it's real easy. Get into networking events, and somebody's going to say something that's going to resonate with you. And when you hear that, just go out. I think it's a myth. I think a lot of people think that people with money don't have time, which we don't. We don't have time, but we love helping. I think we love helping. I have not met anyone that's like, nah, I'm not going to help you out. I have not had that. So go get a mentor.
Love it. Love it. Well, if people want to reach out to you or find more about you, what's the best place to do it?
Social media, or just go to www.DearonneBethea.com. Once you go to my main website, you find all, pretty much everything's there. Also, the information for our conference next year too is up there too.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you, bro. Always appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.